leader of opposition. Whenever we have a disagreement in this house, there has been violence, fights, but I want to thank them for exhibiting civility this time round. They walked out in a civil manner. There was no fight. And right honorable, they made their statement very loud and clear. I just wanted to add that. I beg to submit.
Now, an order on you. members, maybe it's just the understanding that you've not understood Honorable Silwanyi. He's appreciating the team. Honorable Silwanyi is appreciating the leader of opposition for being a very good leader. A leader of opposition, thanks for being a good leader.
Procedure.
Procedure, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. Right Honourable Speaker, I rise on a procedural way. Right Honourable Speaker, for the last 3 days, media has been awash about the Dubai Expo. Right Honourable Speaker, right now as a country, we are feeling quite embarrassed for what is going on, Right Honourable Speaker. At this time, Right Honourable Speaker, if it is procedural okay, you may allow the Honourable Minister to make the statement on the floor of Parliament, because the country, as Uganda, we are being respected in the whole continent. If quite simple things in Dubai may tarnish our name, this is not right, Honourable Speaker. I request, Honourable Speaker, if you may allow the Honourable Minister to come and inform the Parliament and Uganda about what is going on in Dubai and why those things are happening in Dubai as it is. Thank you, Honourable Speaker.
Honourable members, you want Honourable Minister to make a report. Honourable Minister is in the house. The team in Dubai is in Dubai. They will come and make a report. How do you make a report on where you are not? They will make a report at the right time. So we cannot, that will be speculation. And for me, I've not seen anything on social media because WhatsApp has been off.
Procedure.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, as you may recall, over a month ago, I raised an issue on this floor of Parliament concerning the people of Tororo County and specifically Malaba, where the border gate...
Is it on the communication?
Yes, it is on the communication, Madam Speaker, concerning the closure of the border gate. Madam Speaker, and last week again, Honorable Sarah Chengo Pendi raised a similar issue. Madam Speaker, this issue is related, as among others, to security. The closure of the small community gate in Malaba has actually left the whole central business district of Malaba now isolated and completely deserted. It is becoming a security issue. The last time I raised it here, the Prime Minister confirmed to us that in 1 week or so, the gate will be opened. We have moved to all offices that we thought were responsible for closure of this gate. Security is saying health. Health is saying internal affairs. Internal affairs is saying security, trade. Madam Speaker, we need to know when this gate will be opened. And Madam Speaker, where necessary, allow us to go and cut this padlock that is denying our people services in terms of cross-border movement since the borders were open. And since the Minister of Security is also here, and it is his office that has also been jumping up and down, and the Minister of Trade is also here.
No, that is not correct. They were not jumping up and down.
The procedural matter, Madam Speaker,
first remove your word. They were not jumping up and down.
Yes, Madam Speaker, it has taken long. It is really a big problem to the people.
I'm saying withdraw jumping up and down.
I withdraw jumping up and down. But, Madam Speaker, we've been made to move from one office to the other office, one office to the other office, seeking for an opportunity that will create a lasting solution for this community gate to be open for people to enjoy services. We have even requested, if it is a matter of human resource that is lacking to help man that get well, let it be known to us. We are now.
Members, in the last sitting, the Right Honorable Speaker asked for a meeting, an interministerial meeting with all the respective ministers in regard to that issue. So what we are going to do is to wait for a report. You want to give a report?
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. First of all, I would like to inform the Honorable Member of Parliament that the gate is not under the Ministry of Security. It is under Immigration, which is under Ministry of Internal Affairs. Secondly, I have already interacted with Honorable Sarah Opendi, who raised the matter here, and we have already agreed on the way forward to resolve the matter.
There's an order. He has finished.
Right,
He has finished.
Yes, matters has finished. Right Honorable Speaker, I'm rising under Rule 224 of our Rules of Procedure. On 7th of last month, Right Honorable Speaker, this, through your chair, ordered the Security Minister and the Minister for Internal Affairs to immediately go and act on the issues involving the abducted 50 children. Up to now, those children are still in detention, surrounded by the army and the police. Is the
Honorable,
point, the
was
order
that what was being discussed?
I'm on point of order.
We are discussing the issue of Malaba. Bring that as an issue, a fresh issue.
My order is
That is a very serious issue. Bring it as a matter on its own. It's a very serious issue.
The order I'm raising, when it's in contempt,
Procedure, Right Honorable.
Bring it as a new issue. Yes, Procedure, Martin.
Yeah, right. Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker.
Moma Milton.
Thank you very much. Right Honorable Speaker, the procedure matter I'm raising originates from your speech, where you alluded to how tight the order paper is. Right Honorable Speaker, I remember in August, at the beginning of August, you dispatched a committee on defense and internal affairs to Greater Masaka sub-region to do some investigation and pick issues that were leading to the murders or the panga-wielding goons who are killing our people. Right Honorable Speaker, it is now 2 months, and the instructions you gave were for us to report within 2 weeks. Right Honorable Speaker, my point of procedure is when shall our report access the order paper, so that the questions being posed to us, the committee members,
information.
Why the report hasn't come.
Information.
Right, Speaker, we are being suspected.
Information.
Information on the same right.
Information on procedure.
That's the issue, Right Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Moma, we shall have your issue in the next order paper. I am aware the report is ready, but you'll have it in the next order paper. Next item.
Bills first reading. 3.1, the East African Crude Oil Pipeline Special Provisions Bill 2021.
Right Honorable Speaker and colleagues, the First Parliamentary Council in the Ministry of Justice and Constitutional Affairs prepared the East African Crude Oil Pipeline
Special Provisions Bill 2021 following a request from my ministry. The overall goal of the bill is to enable some provisions.
Lay the bill. Give us the name of the...
Okay. This is my maiden speech, Honorable Speaker, on this matter. This is the first time I'm laying bills.
Dr. Kasai. Dr. Kasai.
Yes.
Madam Speaker, for someone to be appointed a minister, you must really take off time and learn the basic things. That a minister appears in Parliament and you don't even know the basic procedure of laying a bill.
Honorable Sir Ibrahim.
Because, Madam Speaker, you can see the training that should have happened elsewhere is happening here. Honorable
Ibrahim, we all learn. And it is not a crime to be appointed a minister, even when you don't know. Please, can you lay the bill?
So, right, Honorable Speaker, I wish to lay the bill entitled the East African Crude Oil Pipeline Special Provisions Bill 2021. For the first reading, I beg to lay.
The East African Crude Oil Pipeline Special Provisions Bill 2021.
And lay the certificate of financial implication. Certificate of financial implication.
Yes. Right, Honorable Speaker, I wish to lay a certificate of financial implications to the bill. I beg to lay.
Thank you. The bill is sent to the Committee of Environment. Yes. Members? Members?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Honorable members, this is a very important bill. However, I would want to bring to the attention of the Minister that although this August House passed two important bills into law, the Upstream and the Midstream Acts in respect of the oil industry, there has been a pending downstream bill. And this particular bill you've brought has an interlinkage between the downstream bill and the midstream bill. I do hope that you will talk to your senior minister to see when you can bring the downstream bill to enable us deal with it and this very bill, because they will be closely interlinked for information purposes.
Thank you, Shadow Attorney General. The bill is sent to the Committee of Environment and Natural Resources for perusal and report in 45 days in accordance to Rule 129 of Rules of Procedure. Next.
Item 3.2, the Succession Amendment Bill 2021.
Madam Speaker and honorable members of Parliament, I beg to move that a bill entitled the Succession Amendment Bill 2021 be read for the first time. And in accordance with Rule 118, I beg to lay the certificate of financial implication for the bill entitled the Succession Amendment Bill 2021, Bill number 24 of 2021. I beg to lay both.
The Succession Amendment Bill 2021.
The bill is sent to the Committee of Legal and Parliamentary Affairs for scrutiny and the report back within 45 days as per rules of procedure 129.
Item 3.3, the Public Finance Management
Honorable
Amendment
Minister
Bill
of Finance.
2021.
Right Honorable Speaker, honorable members, I beg to move that the bill entitled the Public Finance Management Amendment Bill 2021 be read the first time. And in accordance with Rule 118, I beg to lay the certificate of financial implications for the Public Finance Management Amendment Bill 2021, Bill number 27 of 2021.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. The bill is sent to the Committee of Finance, Planning and Economic Development for scrutiny and report back within 45 days as per the rules of procedure 129. Yes, Lob.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. We have received the bills. Some of them are fresh, others are returning as per the ruling of the Speaker. Right Honourable Speaker, given the volume of work, would it be okay if, for example, some of the returning bills are given a shorter span for processing to allow space for other fresher bills that we can, because there was consensus on most of these bills, and there were no contentious, issues. For example, the Succession Amendment Bill seemed to generate consensus then and now. Would it be okay if the time span is limited to give way for fresh business of the House, so that we can do as much as feasible, Right Honourable Speaker?
That is really okay. As the Right Honourable Speaker ruled the other time, the new bills are given 10 days. Then the fresh one are 45, maximum of 45, but you can report in 1 day. Yes. This is within the rules. Next.
Item 3.4, the Administration of Parliament Amendment Bill 2021.
Honorable Call, Anthony.
Right Honourable Speaker, I move that the Administration of Parliament Amendment Bill 2001 be read for the first time. And Honourable Speaker, I have the bill and the certificate of financial implication. I beg to lay.
The Administration of Parliament Amendment Bill 2021.
Is the bill seconded? Is the bill seconded? Seconded by Honorable Abe, Opolot, Apolot, Sarah, Dan Kimasho, Grania, Moma, Akelo, Semuju, Akelo, thank you. Yes.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I do rise under our rules of procedure, specifically Rule 59, that permits me to move a motion without notice. And I would like to move a motion to suspend Rule 129 of this bill that has just been presented, the Administration of Parliament Amendment Bill 2021. And Right Honourable Speaker, the reason I'm moving this, I have looked at this bill. This is a straightforward bill because the Speaker, the Deputy Speaker, has been sitting as a member of the Parliamentary Commission, although for emphasis, it was not clear. So this bill intends to make it clear, give the Deputy Speaker powers in the absence of the Speaker to sit and chair the Commission, but also, secondly, it is trying to make an amendment on the parliamentary, the Institute, the Parliamentary Studies, the Institute of Parliamentary Studies. So this is an obvious bill, Right Honourable Speaker, and if members could agree, I want to move the motion that we proceed to the second reading of this bill so that we dispose it off. There is no need for this bill, which is straightforward, to go to the committee. I beg to move, Right Honourable Speaker.
Honourable members, is the motion for suspension of Rule 129 seconded? The motion is seconded by several members. I can see Mbavas is there, I see Jane, I see Commissioner, I've seen a number of members, Mouma, the whole House. Would you love to speak to the motion?
Right Honourable Speaker, when you look at the object of this bill, it's to amend the Administration of Parliament Act, but also to provide for the defects with the current legislation, where Section 2 of the Administration of Parliament Act excludes the Deputy Speaker of Parliament from being a member of the Commission. So, Right Honourable Speaker, this to me is a straightforward matter that members should support and amend, because in the event that the Speaker is indisposed, the Deputy Speaker may have challenges, even legal challenges, if certain decisions are made by the Commission and yet the Act does not really recognize her as, or not her, this is not person holder, does not recognize the Deputy Speaker as a member of the Commission. Secondly, Right Honourable, and yet it is one office, the Speaker should actually, and Deputy Speaker should be explicit and should be members of the Commission. The Institute of Parliamentary Studies, Right Honourable Speaker, is also provided for in the Administration of Parliament Act, but in order for us to streamline the operations of the Parliamentary Commission and also training of members, to me, I would see no harm in having the parliamentary studies handled under the current existing directorates, and also the Parliamentary Commission takes over this role. The other issue, Right Honourable Speaker, is the tender board. We all know that tender boards were long abolished, but it still exists in our law. And yet we currently have the Public Procurement and Disposal of Assets Act that actually guides all procurements of all government entities in the country. So, Right Honourable Speaker, this particular motion that I moved was for us to move to second reading of the bill so that we can then proceed and dispose of this particular bill. Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker.
Thank you, Honourable Sarah. Honourable members, I put a question that the motion that we suspend Rule 128 raised by Honourable Sarah, as far as it applies to the bill that has been read. So the motion to second the move, I put the question, those in favor say aye, and to the contrary, no. The ayes have it.
Bill's second reading, the Administration of Parliament Amendment Bill 2021.
Honorable Call.
Right Honorable Speaker, let me first thank Honorable Sharapendi. I move the motion that Administration of Parliament Amendment Bill 2021 be read for the second time. I beg to move.
Is the motion seconded? Is the motion seconded? Yes, the motion is seconded by the whole House. Thank you. Can you speak to your motion, Honorable Call?
Right Honorable Speaker, I think Honorable Sarah Pendi did a very good work for me. Almost finished the bad work or the difficult work that I should do to convince the members. Number one, it is very clear that for this time, and good enough one of the commissioner helped me when I was seeking a motion for the leave, that even when we just started Parliament, Commission had problems how to move on because the Deputy Speaker was sitting there without the authority from the Speaker. And I think that is on record that it was put on the floor of Parliament here. So that's one of the reasons why I thought it wise that it is important that we amend so that that position of Deputy Speaker, not exactly you are sitting now, it might be Honorable Noaga, but it can be Honorable Bobahati or myself next time. So it will be important that that position should be sitting legally in the Commission, and that is one of the reasons why I thought it is important. The other day I also made it very clear that I thank the government. I am not in government, but at least when I was Shadow Minister of Finance, I was talking about the overload, the expenditures that the government is going through with too many MDAs created by the Act of Parliament. And therefore I thought it is important that as the Institute is also part of Parliament of Uganda, it will be good for us to have it under the Commission. And there's a reason why one of these bill is seeking for this institute to be under the Commission of Parliament. Thirdly, it's a very simple thing, known that, you know, we have the arms of government which is in charge of procurement, but still, in our administration of Parliament, we still have a legal part of it that we need to create a board that can work on procurement of Parliament. So we want to put the record right and put things right in our Administration of Parliament Act, and that is why I thank Honorable Sarah Pendi for thinking that we should not wait for long to handle this. It is a very simple thing that we can handle as Parliament, and Right Honorable Speaker, thank you very much. I don't have much to say. This is a straightforward amendment. Thank you.
Honorable Fox Odoy. Please switch on your mic.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, I rise to move a motion under Rules 16 and 59(1)J that Rule 132 and 135 be suspended. I beg to move.
Is the motion on suspension of Rule 132, subsection 2 and subsection 5 seconded? Is it seconded? It is seconded. I can see Abe, Opalinga, Dan, Winfred, Honorable members, Rule 16 on suspension of rules does not apply in respect to Rule 5, 6, 11, 12, 13.1, 16, and 98. Rule 129 and Rule 130, subsection 2 and 5 are not part of the rules that cannot be suspended. I therefore put a question that Rule 130, subsection 2 and subsection 5 be suspended, and those in favor say aye, and to the contrary, the ayes have it. Honorable members, Attorney General.
In that respect, Madam Speaker, I move a motion under Rule 71 that the debate be closed and the question be put as to the second reading of this particular bill.
Honorable member, thank you so much. I put a question that the bill be read the second time. Those in favor say aye, and to the contrary, the ayes have it.
The Administration of Parliament Amendment Bill 2021, Bills Committee stage. Clause 1.
Honorable Con. Honorable members, I put the question that Clause 1 do stand part of the bill. Those in favor say aye, and to the contrary, no. The ayes have it.
Clause 2.
Clause 2. Honorable members,
Thank you, Madam Chair. I just wanted confirmation. Last time when the honorable member was moving, he assured the House that the institute that we are amending, that the staff were not going to be affected. Now that we have moved, because of the urgency of this bill, we would want again assurance, because we have not read through the way the clause is written. Can we be assured that what the member told Parliament is actually what is in the bill, so that we can be? Thank you.
Honorable member, when you look at Clause 5, it has a transitional provision that does not affect any member from being sacked. We are not working like other mergers. They will be part of the parliamentary service, a directorate of IPS.
Chair, that's what we want, because we don't have the bill.
No, that is catered for.
Thank you.
That is catered for. Honorable members, I put a question that Clause 2 do stand part of the bill. Those in favor, say aye, and to the contrary? The ayes have it.
Clause 3.
Honourable members, I put a question that clause 3 do stand part of the bill. Those in favor, say aye, and to the contrary? The ayes have it.
Clause 4.
Honourable members, I put a question that the Honourable members, I put a question that the question I put a Honourable members, I put a question that clause 4 do stand as part of the bill. Those in favor say aye, and to the contrary, nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 5.
Clause 5, honourable members, I put a question that clause 5 do stand part of the bill, and those in favor say aye, and to the contrary, the ayes have it.
Title.
Sharp. Honourable members, I put a question that the title do stand part of the bill. Those in favor say aye, and to the contrary, nay. The ayes have it.
Motion for resumption of the House.
Honourable Call.
Madam Chairperson, I move that the House do resume and the Committee of the Whole House report thereto. I beg to move.
Members, I put the question to that the House do resume and the Committee of the House do report here too. Those in favor say aye, and to the contrary, the ayes have it.
Report of the Committee of the Whole House.
Right Honourable Speaker, I beg to report that the Committee of the Whole House has considered the bill entitled the Administration of Parliament Amendment Bill 2021 and passed it without amendment. I beg to move.
Motion for adoption of the report of the Committee of the Whole House.
Honourable Call.
Right Honourable Speaker, I beg to move that the report of the Committee of the Whole House be adopted. I beg to move.
Honourable members, I put a question that the report of the Committee of the Whole House be adopted. Those in favor say aye, and to the contrary, nay. The ayes have it.
Bill's third reading, the Administration of Parliament Amendment Bill 2021.
Right Honourable Speaker, I beg to move that the bill entitled the Administration of Parliament Amendment Bill 2021 be read the third time and do pass. I beg to move.
Honourable members, I put a question that the bill entitled the Administration of Parliament Amendment Bill 2021 be read for the third time and do pass. Those in favor say aye, and to the contrary, nay.
A bill for an act entitled the Administration of Parliament Amendment Act 2021.
Title settled and passed. Thank you very much, honourable members. Members, this is my first bill I've passed in the 11th Parliament. This is a maiden bill.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. Right Honourable Speaker, I would like to congratulate the House and the presiding officer for the bill so fast, passed now. And for the new members, it looks like a baptism of fire. And probably it's not the best way to learn how bills are processed. And I want to invite members to probably get an extract of the processes. We are going to be handling more dicey matters in this House. And the invitation to amend rules should be declined. This was more or less an in-house management rule, and therefore we were willing to have it moved. But if there is an appetite across the right side of the Speaker to suspend rules, I want to warn in earnest we shall reject. It should come prepared and justify the bills
Leader of
before
opposition,
us.
I did not have appetite to suspend.
No,
I did
Right Honourable
suspend.
Speaker, I'm not referring to the Speaker, because
Okay.
I said there was consensus that the bill before the House that we've just processed was about Parliament and how Parliament runs, and we were in concert with it. This does not violate any...
Order. Right Honourable Speaker, I want to thank the Leader of Opposition for coming up to appreciate. But in the process, he said the Speaker will not have appetite to amend rules. And it is something simple, which I think he should withdraw and be expunged from the Hansard. The Speaker has not amended any rule here. It is backbenchers, members of Parliament who are elected, who moved the suspension of rules. Is he in order for him to insinuate that the Speaker has appetite to amend rules? Is he in order?
Honourable Leader of Opposition, did you say I have appetite?
Right Honourable Speaker, with the indulgence, you know, I've taken long seeing my dear sister across. And the first time she had occasion to settle in the House, the debates are flying so fast past her. And I can understand why she had me in
No, the issue is, did you say I have appetite?
But of course, Right Honourable Speaker, you've been around long enough to know how I present my issues. At no one time would I find the Speaker, I did say on the right side of the Speaker. That was my statement. So, but I welcome her back to the House, Right Honourable Speaker.
Now, what we want is to get this out of the order paper. I mean, out of the answer that the Speaker has appetite. I have appetite for other things, not for the rules.
Yeah, right, Honourable Speaker. Right to the record, capture the law very clearly that the reference was on people on the right side of the Speaker. That was the statement.
Thank you. Honourable Call, once make it.
Right Honourable Speaker, let me thank you and honourable colleagues for getting me by surprise. For me, I was preparing for a long discussion. I thought today I'm handing over, then wait for another day and all that. I thank Honourable Fox Udoy and Honourable Sarah Opendi for making it actually a short one. Much as it was a medium one for you, for me it was also the first in this 11th Parliament. So thank you very much, honourable members, for making it happen. And I pledge to work together with you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, members. I say this is our, not mine, our 11th Parliament. No, our maiden bill as 11th Parliament. Thank you, members.
Item 4, statements by ministers. Item 4.1.
Minister of Trade, yes, Honorable.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. In your
Question.
remarks, you say that would look at matters of national importance immediately after the bill's laying.
Yes, we are going to look at it. They are only laying papers.
Okay, thank you.
Madam Speaker, this is the issue to do with the payment of the tobacco farmers in the region of Bunyoro and other parts of the country. Madam Speaker, since last time when I made a statement here, we have drafted a memorandum of understanding which we are yet to sign. I guess that will be signed in the course of this week or next week, because one company, as I said, is willing to start the payments. The other company, we are still negotiating and talking to them. And as soon as the memorandum of understanding is signed, I'll be able to bring it to this house as you requested in the course of next week. That is the brief I have for Parliament.
Thank you. And I hope, when do you expect the MOU to be ready?
The MOU for the first company which is willing to start the payment will be ready at the end of this week, and therefore I'll be able to deposit it with the clerk of Parliament in the course of next week.
And remember, the order of this house is that you do not pay even a coin before an MOU is signed between the company and government, because we are not lenders.
Madam Speaker, we are following that order, and that's what we shall do. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes.
Item 4.2.
They have given me clarification. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Right, Honorable Speaker, the Minister is telling us that one company is willing to pay, and the other company, we are still negotiating. Right, Honorable Speaker, this is government. And government has all the powers and all the apparatus to ensure that a company is made to pay Ugandans, because these tobacco farmers have been suffering for a very long time. So that company that the minister is saying that they are willing, they are not yet willing, the minister is not clear. The clarification I want to get from him, can he state to us and tell us why the company is not willing to pay and why other companies are willing to pay, so that we know, and if he needs any support from this Parliament, then we provide the support so that all the companies agree that they are going to pay the tobacco farmers, and then the tobacco farmers are paid. That's the clarification I wanted to get from Honorable Bahati.
Procedure.
Madam Speaker, Honorable Speaker, this issue of tobacco farmers has been on the floor of this House several times. And if I can remember very well, last week, the Prime Minister promised here that they are going to lay on the floor of Parliament the MOU, that they already worked on it and signed. Now today again, the Minister is telling us one company, story is again after story, you know. So are we really proceeding well on this issue of tobacco? Why all this?
Honorable Minister, the House needs a clarification, because last week they were told you're going to bring a signed MOU to the effect. So they need a signed MOU. And secondly, as you make a clarification, you also need to make a clarification on what plans you have for West Nile, because it has been an issue.
Madam Speaker, I have a duty to tell the truth to the House, and therefore, if the MOU is not ready, I cannot come to the House and say it is ready. So the MOU is not ready, and we are working on it. One company, as you recall, Madam Speaker, we passed 11 billion.
There is a procedure matter.
Thank you so much, Right Honourable Speaker. Right Honourable Speaker, the same minister was for us. He said the MOU was ready. He's now saying it is not ready and he cannot present it.
It is not the same minister.
I mean, the same ministry.
You get
the government. The government told us that they were ready. Now, the point of procedure I'm raising is isn't the ministry contradicting itself by saying they were ready then and now they are not ready?
You know what is important for us to focus on is to have the payment done and have the MOU. Actually, we don't want the payment before the MOU. Let's have a signed MOU tabled in this House before you pay the money. That's what we want.
So the first company is willing to start paying and is willing to sign. I just want to remind the members of this House that the origin of this started from the farmers of Bunyoro. That's the reason why we had passed that particular time past the 11 billion. But now the demands from West Nile have also come. And one company actually is saying, unless we include the farmers from West Nile, then they are not willing to sign an MOU. Those are the issues that we are working on. Honorable Mwijuche, government has procedures they follow. I wish one time you will be on this side and you learn how government works. It doesn't work that way. So as soon as I'm ready, Madam Speaker, next week I will bring the MOU. Thank
Honorable
you.
members, Honorable Minister, can we have a meeting together with the Attorney General's chambers, your office, Speaker's office on that matter, plus the owners of the companies you're talking about, and we get a feel of what they are saying.
So after the House, I'll follow up to get the appointment, and then we can arrange it. Thank you.
Item 4.2.
Honorable Minister of Economic Monitoring.
Madam Speaker, first of all, I would like to begin by congratulating you for the record.
Maiden speech.
It's of course my maiden speech in this term of office. But I first want to begin by congratulating you and members of this August House for assuming that office as the Deputy Speaker of the Republic of Uganda. I also want to congratulate my good friend, the Leader of Opposition, for being elevated to the office of the Leader of Opposition of this 11th Parliament. Madam Speaker, I'm here to present a statement on behalf of my Senior Minister, Honorable Millie Babalanda, who is unable to be with us here. Right Honorable Speaker and Honorable Members, on 30th September 2021, the Prime Minister of the Republic of Uganda, who is also the leader of government business, presented to Parliament a statement of business for the succeeding week, which included statement on the 59th Independence Day celebration. Madam Speaker, I wish to submit as follows. Right Honorable Speaker and Honorable Members, Uganda is scheduled to celebrate her 59th Independence Day celebration on Saturday, 9th October 2021 at Kololo Ceremonial Grounds. The theme for this year's celebrations will be celebrating our 59th Independence Day as we secure our future through national mindset change. Madam Speaker, I hope this statement has been uploaded in our iPads, and I did so earlier on, submit to Office of the Clerk. Aware that the COVID-19 pandemic is still roaming largely, this year's celebration will be scientific. In other words, not more than 500 guests have been invited to physically be in Kololo. The categorization of the invited guests is attached here with Annexure 1, and Madam Speaker, I did submit, but for the record, allow me lay on table a list of all the invited guests to prove the 570 guests who will attend the function. Madam Speaker, I beg to lay. The rest of Ugandans will quietly celebrate from their homes. The activities in Kololo will be relayed live on all major televisions and radios, and therefore people are advised to watch the proceedings from the comfort of their homes. The chief guest will be His Excellency the President of the Republic of Uganda, General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, and the function will begin at 11 a.m. Right Honorable Speaker and Honorable Members, Cabinet under Minute Extra 432 CT 2018 of 24 September 2018 directed the Office of the President to prepare and circulate guidelines for planning and organizing national functions. Specifically, Section 3.0 of the aforesaid guidelines provides that there shall be a national organizing committee for each national function, chaired by the permanent secretary under whose docket a given national function falls. The National Organizing Committee reports to the responsible minister, who shall in turn prefetch the President on the preparations as and when the need arises. Since the NOC for the 59th independence celebrations falls under the presidency, it is therefore follows that the Secretary Office of the President has been chairing the technical level preparatory meetings. So far, the NOC has held 5 meetings, technical level meetings, in preparation for the forthcoming 59th Independence Day celebration, scheduled for Saturday, 9th October 2021. As per the available reports from the subcommittees, we are set to host this day. The overall readiness of the key subcommittees of the National Organizing Committee stands as follows. And Madam Speaker, allow me to give a brief summary on the specific committees other than reading what each committee is doing, since you already have the statement. Number 1, we have the Decoration Subcommittee. Number 2, we have the Construction Subcommittee. Number 3, we have the Invitation Subcommittee. Number 4, Ceremony Subcommittee. Number 5, Entertainment Subcommittee. A snapshot of the actors who contributed to attainment of our independence. Madam Speaker, while the struggle for Uganda's independence is long and probably can't fully be captured in these few words, it's important to highlight a few individuals that began the struggle for our independence. The origin of the struggle for the Ugandan independence was the founding of the Uganda's first political party, that's the Uganda People's Congress. The party was founded by Ignatius Musazi, Abubakar Mayanja, Stefano Agongto, Beno Kwerede, Engur from Lango, and Katembo from Toro. Musazi was the founding President General, and Mayanja was the founding Secretary General. The others were chairpersons in their respective regions. A host of other parties were later to be formed, and were all pushing one direction, which was self-determination. Indeed, in 1962, when Uganda was granted independence, Dr. Apollo Milton Obote became the executive prime minister, and Sir Edward Mutesa too became the president. That period followed Uganda's independence in 1962 was marked by tribal and religious sectarianism, chauvinism, state abuse of power and human rights, state and economic collapse, intermittent conflict, including civil wars. A combination of measures was taken to endanger national security, peace, and stability. Democracy as well as socio-economic transformation, and no doubt Uganda is now on the right track. Madam Speaker, I have to highlight here some of the strides made in the new selected sectors as a nation over the last 59 years. To begin with, in the education sector, in these 59 years of independence, we have done a lot to build the economic and administrative capacity to implement the development decisions we have rightly made as a free nation, as a free people. We have addressed intellectual capacity of our people in terms of building a knowledge and a skill base through education. We have invested a lot in educating our people using new and refocused circular. It is true we still have problems in this area, but we have also made impressive gains, and we shall continue to do so. For example, we have increased the number of primary school goers to over 10 million pupils compared to 2.5 million in 1989. We have increased the number of secondary schools going children to over 2 million students now. There are about 53 universities, 9 of them are public and 44 are private and constant colleges, therefore, and more are in the pipeline. In the agricultural sector, agriculture remains the main thrust of Uganda's economic growth. It employs about 64% of Ugandans and about 72% of the youth, highlighting its importance to household income growth. The value of agricultural exports has increased over time to US $1.5 billion, representing unprecedented growth of the last 4 financial years. We are now exporting about 8.5 million bags of coffee, a figure that is still growing with more investment and better regulations in the sector. Fortunately, the global demand is able to take all the coffee and still demands more. The global demand for milk product is 906 billion liters, valued at US $458.1 billion. Therefore, our present production of 2.6 billion liters of milk can enter the global market, provided we solve the problems of cattle diseases. That is to say, foot and mouth, CP, PP, anthrax, etc. And of course, also offer competitive prices. Madam Speaker, in the other sector is information communication technology. This is one of the 4 core sectors promoted by President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni as a guarantor of jobs and growth opportunities, and a routine for most Ugandans to enter the money economy, others being agriculture, industry, service sector, e.g., tourism and hospitality. ICT has created over 500,000 jobs, direct and indirect jobs. Jobs with a lot of space for further growth, as government is promoting ICT innovations to create jobs for import substitutions to avoid overdependence to foreign ICT products. The figures for telephone and internet subscription currently stands as follows as of December 2020. 27.78 million mobile phone subscribers from 22.37 million in 2016. 21.4 million internet users from 0.4 million in 2016. 26.4 mobile money subscribers with an active user base of 15.6 million. Mobile transactions have reached a high of 93.7 trillion. Government is promoting ICT innovation to create jobs for import substitution and to avoid overdependence on foreign IT products. A national IT innovation hub for over 500 innovators has been constructed in Nakawa. Innovation grants have been given to 112 innovators, to 6 private sector innovation hubs under the National ICT Initiatives Support Program. In November 2019, mobile phones and computer manufacturing by Simi Mobile was launched in Namambe by the President, and the company has just shipped in the first consignment of about 18,000 mobile phones assembled in Uganda and Morocco.
Procedure.
Madam Speaker, Rule 52 of our rules of procedure, with your permission, allow a minister to make a statement, either to explain a policy or on any matter. This particular minister stood to speak about independence. He is now, I don't know if he's running away. He is now reading the budget framework paper, which usually under the Public Finance Management Act is presented in December. It has all the figures of how many bags of coffee that we are exporting, liters of milk that we are exporting and producing, the number of tourists that come to Uganda, the number of jobs created by the ICT, and how ICT is a core sector that government is promoting. It has everything. Last year we received, the figures may have changed and will be updated in December, at least according to the Public Order Management Act. Is the minister therefore in order to request your office to present a statement on independence, and he ends up presenting the budget framework paper of next year? Madam Speaker, doesn't that offend our rules? And that's the point of procedure that I am raising. Whether a minister in total blatant violation of our rules should read the next year's budget framework paper instead of talking about independence, which permission he sought from you, Madam Speaker.
Order. Honorable Ibrahim, the minister asked for permission to tell the House about independence and the achievements that they have registered. And what is reading is the achievements that they have registered as a party. So can you summarize on your achievements?
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, I thought this, if you look at sub-rule 2, of course the minister a statement may be debated within that 1 hour, but I want to thank you for the wise guidance you've given. Madam Speaker, like you've correctly guided, I cannot be able to dwell into the details which were made as far as economic infrastructure is concerned, the energy sector. Let me just go to make a summary, since now my brother, Honorable Semuju, says that I'm making a state of the nation address. I don't know, but Honorable Semuju, you must acknowledge that all these achievements have been made.
You are addressing the House, not Honorable Semuju.
Right, Honorable Speaker, all these achievements have been made during this 35 years of the NRM rule. And I really want to ask our people, our colleagues here, to allow us talk about them, because I am in the right fora where you appropriate money to government. So important once in a while we account to the people of Uganda. But nevertheless, Madam Speaker, in conclusion, therefore, we wish to borrow from the wise words of Mwalimu Julius Nyerere. When he was receiving the instruments of power as Prime Minister of Tanganyika on 1st May 1961, he said, and I quote, "I have talked to you before about poverty, ignorance, and disease. But in fact, if we defeat poverty, we shall have achieved the means by which we can defeat ignorance and disease. Yet poverty is something that really only you can fight. If you have cotton unpicked on your chamber, if you have cultivated half an acre, less than that you could cultivate, if you are letting the soil run needlessly off your land, or if your chamber is full of weeds, if you deliberately ignore the advice given to you by the agriculture experts, then you are a traitor in the war. You are failing us, all of us, Tanganyikans, because you are not fighting to the limit against the common enemy of poverty." This quotation, the quotation from the founding father of the United Republic of Tanzania, summarizes it all for Ugandans as we celebrate our independence under the appropriate theme, celebrating our 59th Independence Day as we secure our future through the national mindset change. There can never be true independence if we are striving or if we produce for consumption. We must produce enough for export as well as continue with innovations to fully industrialize our economy. Uganda is progressing steadily and is currently ranked as one of the most entrepreneurial countries in the world. When it comes to natural beauty, Uganda is no match for most countries. We are certainly on the right path, and with determination, initiative and cooperation, we shall surely succeed. Right Honorable Speaker, I beg to submit, and I thank you for giving me this opportunity to make this statement for the 59th Independence Celebration on behalf of the Minister for Presidency and the Presidency where I'm in. Thank you so much, honorable members, for giving me the time and listening to me. I say all this for God and my country. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Minister Ogang Peter, and thank you for the statement. And the last function we had in Kololo was a disaster. Honorable members will bear with me. We were made to sit in mud. It was not well organized. Our visitors were not, actually went back ashamed. We hope this time around you will have a well-organized function. Yes?
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. For record purposes, my name is Midias Natkunda, woman representative for Rukunjiri. I want to thank the Honorable Minister for his statement on the independence of Uganda. And as Uganda celebrates her 59th independence, I must commend the government for key milestones it has done. For example, the minister told us in UPE, the enrollment has increased to at least 10.7 million as of 2019. However, due to the lockdown and the effects of COVID-19, we see that many school-going children have gotten pregnant. Teenage pregnancies are on a rise in many districts in the country. And my district has not been left out. We have 1,000, as of the last 7 months, 1,300 girls have gotten pregnant during this lockdown. So if we are now talking about the enrollment, how will the enrollment be after the lockdown? That means these school-going girls are not going back to school. They are not going to continue, and it has a negative impact on the country and the communities we are living in. And the theme being securing the future through national mindset change. How can we change the mindset of the people, of our communities? Because these girls are going to be looked at as outcasts, as kids who cannot go back to school. How can we change the mindset so that even after they get pregnant, they can go back to school? It is our role as legislators, as leaders, to make sure we provide a safe environment for these girls to go back to school after conceiving. And the government should come up with a system to protect the girl child and women during this lockdown. We are talking about increased numbers of teenage pregnancies, but how can we solve this? I thank you, Right Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. Honorable Lanya.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, I would like to thank the Minister for the statement. And Right Honorable Speaker, this year's independence celebration is very crucial for the history of Uganda. Right Honorable Speaker, if you look at it critically, the child born in 1986, this year, that child has made 35 years of age. And it's the year whereby a child is born, he attained the youthful stage, and this is the year that that particular child, next year, he will be an adult. Right Honorable Speaker, This is the lesson that we should learn. Now that the NRM government, headed by His Excellency the President of the Republic of Uganda, and I'm happy that he is going to be the chief guest on this date. Now we request the President to tell this child who was born in 1986 is no longer youth from next year. He should really tell his plan for retirement so that this child compares other presidents of the Republic of Uganda. That child born in 1986, as I summarize, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Semuju.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. The time is very scaring, yet this matter is very important. I hope the frame in which my brother, the Honorable Ogwang, presents this statement is not the same frame under which the function is going to be organized. To make it look like it is a partisan function, like it has been before, where they are going to announce the protocol of arrival of one party, as if they are going to Chankwan's for training. Madam Speaker, the colleague, the theme, securing Uganda's future. I was helping Abmayanja to do his biography before he died. He became the Secretary General of the first political party in Uganda when he was a student at Makerere University. Today, we have a leader who said that 75 you will have lost the energy. He said it many times. And the younger people who were not born before he came here, like the Honorable Gwang, think that the future is going to be secured that way. This independence had nothing to do with schools. In fact, if you look at the schools established here by the colonialists, Budo, Namagunga, Namugongo, Gayaza, they are still the best schools in Uganda. People who fought for independence never fought for schools. They were fighting for self-determination, where they would be respected as human beings. If you are still rolling MPs in the mud, if you read Uganda's Revolution by Pecos Kutesa, the late, he was an MP here. He said the reason he went to Luwero to fight was because President Museveni, who was a minister, was stopped in Chirekate Road block and was not respected. And for that, Pecos Kutesa and others went to fight in Luwero. Today, the MPs are being arrested like chicken thieves. Court orders are being overturned by someone who thinks Uganda is his personal estate inherited from his parents. This attitude needs to change. Those of you who think that Uganda now is under your feet, the others, you are helping them to live in this country. Until we've created a country where all of us feel respected, feel that this is our country, you can have as many functions in Kololo to remember the occasion, maybe to commemorate the 59 years. I am only inviting you finally. You must make this independence meaningful by going back to the ideals that drove the Abmayanjas, the Musas. They were not fighting for establishment of schools. The schools were there. But today, Abmayanja was chased from Makerere. He went to the governor in Entebbe who was operating a scholarship. People are still going to Entebbe, even new MPs, as if they...
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, and I thank the Minister for the statement. Indeed, 59 years ago, Uganda was able to attain independence, and it is commendable that today we have a sovereign state. But the statement from the Minister is focusing on, I would say, narrow areas. When you look at education, for example, I would think that we should be moving ahead, forward, than focusing narrowly only on the aspect of access to education. When the Minister focuses on saying we have increased the number of school-going children, but we know that as a country, we are challenged with so many other aspects. So I would implore the Minister to look at so many other parameters. While we look at the number of children going to school being increased,
What about retention for both boys and girls? My sister already talked about the dropout rates, the pregnancy. But we know that there are high dropout rates, which is affecting mostly girls and also some boys for various reasons. There are issues to do with completion rates. So while we are focusing on access, what about the completion rates? So I think there are pertinent issues that we have to be dealing with as a country, and I would request the minister that in subsequent statements, let us be alive to the reality and look at the issues that is affecting our country. I thank you. Jane?
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. Right Honourable Speaker, I want to take this opportunity to thank the Minister for the statement. Indeed, 59 years ago, as a country, we attained our independence. And I want to thank God, thus far it has brought Uganda. Right Honourable Minister, I also Right Honourable Speaker, I want to thank the government for choosing the theme for us all to focus our minds to changing our mindset. This is a fundamental theme indeed that this country needed yesterday. Right Honourable Speaker, allow me to take the aspect of education. Right Honourable Speaker, we have done well as a country in terms of formal education. But a lot is going wrong. We are forgetting other institutions like the cultural institutions that should be guiding our children. Right Honourable Speaker, I want to call upon the sector of education to review the curriculum in this country, and particularly with a view of bringing in parenting. Right Honourable Speaker, a lot is going wrong with our children. And if we are to secure a future, the future not for these plants in this country, not for mountains, but for our children, for the young population of this country. Therefore, we need a proper curriculum that can guide our children, Right Honourable Speaker. Still, concerning education, Right Honourable Speaker, it is now time for us as a country to focus on skills development. Right Honourable Speaker, I get perturbed. Year in, year out, we are coming up with programs, we are dishing out money with very little impact. Right Honourable Speaker, I come from a fishing community. In Pakwach, we believe that give me a fish net or a boat rather than giving me fish. When we design programs, Right Honourable Speaker, we should not focus on the financial aspect only. We should focus on tangible equipment that can equip our people and they remain with the skills for a lifespan. Right Honourable Speaker, that's why I'm calling upon government that as we celebrate the independence this week, the WEP fund, we now try to review it if possible, so that we don't only give women money. We can equip women with tailoring and design. We can equip women with bakery skills. We can equip women with weaving and many other skills, so that they stay with these skills, they can always use.
Honourable Biga. After Honourable Biga,
Thank you. Thank you, Honourable Speaker. I want to join my colleagues in thanking the Minister for record purpose. I'm Rose Zobiga, woman MP Terego. Honourable Speaker, I have clearly heard here the guests will be around 500. I grew up in the village. This is a day when we listen to all the authorities from RDC and the rest. And this is a time when the rest of the population in the village is cancelled. But this is no more. Honourable Speaker, through you, I want to know from the Minister if our villages are allowed at least to assemble 200 or 100 so that they're able to get the information, that change of mindset. We cannot change our mindset when people are here doing everything virtually and we don't have these gadgets in Terego. I'll be grateful to hear that we in Terego are allowed to be part of this country. Thank you.
Thank you. Is that Tony?
Yes, Right Honourable Speaker. Right Honourable Speaker, I want to thank the Minister for the statement. And in particular, I want to look at the theme of the year, securing the future through mindset change. Right Honorable Speaker, for the last 59 years, Uganda has gone through a number of changes politically, socially, economically. But our political history has not been so good. And that has created a lot of division because of the fights, coups, and separated, divided tribes against each other, and regions, and all this. Right Honorable Speaker, this has affected the way we think, the way we look at ourselves, and to the extent that it has created a lot of hatred among the people of this country, and we can't hide this. And Right Honorable Speaker, the best way to deal with this is to change the mindset of people, the way we think, and how we can make our lives better. Now, I want to ask the Honorable Minister, what do we have in place that we have put in that is going to help us in achieving our interests of causing a positive mindset change in the country? Have we put in place institutions? Have we put in place the strategy through which we are going to handle the young people and the old people and politicians, where we meet and agree on how we should think and look at how we should develop our country, Right Honorable Speaker? Because without that, you'll find people running to sell land to buy a border, instead of engaging into very serious economic production. Right Honorable Speaker, today, parents have absconded their responsibility. Parents have absconded their responsibility of parenting. And the only parent that we have now is the school. And COVID-19 has exposed us. And we need to change the mindsets of parents in this country so that we look at our responsibility over the children. The rate of teenage pregnancy in my district, 2,300 young girls below the age of 19 are pregnant right now. The children go to evening clubs, to centers, to discos. The parents are also watching. Sometimes they're also on the other side of the road. The children are dancing on the other side of the road. What kind of mindset are we doing? So, Right Honorable Speaker, I think the Honorable Minister put this in black and white, present to this Parliament the approach that we are going to use in ensuring that we cause a mindset as we get into the 59th Independence Day celebration of this country. Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Solomon Silvani.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, I want to join the other members in thanking the Honorable Minister for presenting such an elaborate statement on independence. Right Honorable Speaker, this is going to be the 59th independence that we are having as a country. When you look far back in 1962, Uganda was not as good as it is today. And we want to thank really government for bringing us this far. Right Honorable Speaker, what I want to ask from the Minister is as follows, Right Honorable Speaker. One, what can we do differently whenever we are making such important celebrations? Because independence comes once in every 1 year. If we were to do something unique, that we know that this year we have done this, in the next independence we shall do this, Right Honorable Speaker, I think we shall be moving very far. So I want to ask and implore the Minister, what is that we can do differently? And as Parliament, we do this. We know that we are going to do this in this independence, then the next independence, so that we move out the country and we go ahead. Right Honorable Speaker, when you look at infrastructure, everything has moved well. However, Right Honorable Speaker, our mother, our cornerstone has been security. Right Honorable Speaker, this year we have had challenges. I thought the Minister was also going to talk about that, because we need to secure Ugandans, because even our theme this year is saying securing our future. Your future cannot be secured when you don't have security. I think, Honorable Minister, you'll clarify that, because we need a big statement on issues of security in this country, so that Ugandans are secure and everybody is secure and everybody knows that the country is secure to live in. I beg to submit.
Honorable members, we have so many statements from different ministers. This was a statement on independence. If it is a statement on security, Honorable Jim is here, he has a paper to present. If it is a statement on works, we shall have a minister of works. So for now, whom are you ordering? The people who are standing, you're ordered to sit. You know, that's why we want to go for recess and we have orientation, so that people know that when the speaker is speaking, you keep quiet and sit. Okay? So for now, let's have a response from the minister.
Madam Speaker, first of all, I'd like to begin by thanking you and honorable colleagues who have raised those pertinent questions. The first one is from my good friend, Honorable Uganda. Will this function be the same as the others? No. We take note of the challenges which we all saw in the last 5 previous functions, and the purpose of those committees entirely help us address those inadequacies which were there. And I want to pledge on behalf of the presidency that this will be a very well organized function and all the invited guests will be taken care of. The question number 2 was, all of us colleagues have made the mention of the mindset. It is true, if you look at the National Development Plan 3, one of the 18 program areas is on the mindset change. And I want to implore all of us colleagues that can we, and the ministry responsible leading in this is the Minister of Gender, Labor and Social Development, followed by the Minister of ICT. So it's important as leaders that we join government in trying to help us address, disseminate, talk to our people on as far as managing or handling issues of mindsets are concerned. We all have cultural institutions, we have religious leaders. It's our call as government, and it's the main reason why we thought it wise that we should begin to call upon the population to look at what we are either doing well and what the question of mindset is leading to our country. Honorable Gilbert Olanya raised the question of when should His Excellency the President retire? We're in a multi-party dispensation. And I want to speak for my political party. NRM will determine when each of the President will retire. But as far as I'm concerned, each party presents its best candidate. If NRM has been presenting Yoweri Kaguta as a best candidate and he has been winning, why would you, a member of the opposition, tell me that he should be retired? So, Honorable Olanya, please, it's my point to you that our party will determine when the President will retire. I thank you. Furthermore, Madam Speaker, other questions which have come here is on the question of the education sector, particularly the curriculum. I want to address myself that the Minister of Education, who is also the First Lady, did appoint Honorable Amanya Mushega to chair a committee to begin to look at reviewing our education curriculum. So for that matter, work is in progress, and I acknowledge the comments and the concerns which all of us have, and I think that was the basis why the First Lady, who is also the Minister, did invite Honorable Amanya Mushega to chair. And it is true, I would like to ask all of us to support the initiative because it's going to help us move our country forward. The other one is, colleagues have quoted questions as far as the challenges the pandemic is causing. It is true, I want to first thank Honorable Tonayo for the concerns you've raised. It is true, as parents, we all have responsibility to take care of our children. We must accept that most times some of us have neglected our roles as parents. As government, we shall continue to work with you in trying to ensure that all infrastructure is there for parts of our children to be at school and to facilitate them to be at school. So, Madam Speaker, I thank you so much for giving me the opportunity, and I want to take this opportunity to again remind us that the members have been invited and the list is before you. maybe for the record, you'll be able to give a formal communication to members of the House. But our number is 570. Thank you so much. I say all this for God and my country.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. And thank you for your statement. Members, allow me vary the order paper. We asked for a feasibility report from the Minister of Sports, and I'm told he has another engagement. Can he lay the report on table?
Right Honorable Speaker and Honorable colleagues, last week on Thursday, this Parliament directed the Minister of Education and Sports to lay on table the report for the detailed feasibility studies, environmental and social impact assessment for 2 stadia, Akibwa Olympic Stadium in Lira and Buhinga Stadium in Kabarole, all earmarked in 2018 to be constructed with a grant from China under the Forum on China-African Cooperation, FOCAC. Madam Speaker, the Minister of Education and Sports conducted, and the report is here available. We equally submitted as a condition precedent under this grant, this report to the Ministry of Finance, Planning and Economic Development, and copied the Ministry of Foreign Affairs for purposes of further management in terms of securing the grant to enable the Republic of Uganda construct the 2 stadia. Madam Speaker and colleagues, under Rule 31 of the Rules of Procedure of Parliament, I beg to lay on table Volume 1 for Buhinga Stadium in Kabarole. Volume 1 is the final feasibility study and concept design report, comprising of the final feasibility study report, the concept design report, the geotechnical soil investigations report, the final environmental and social impact assessment report, economic feasibility study report, topographical and cadastral survey report. Madam Speaker and honorable colleagues, I beg to lay on table.
Thank you, Honorable Minister.
Madam Speaker, I also beg to lay on Stadium Volume 2 for Buhinga Stadium in Kabarole. Volume 2 is the architectural concept design report. I beg to lay.
Thank you.
Right Honorable Speaker, for Akibwa Olympic Stadium proposed to be constructed in Lira City, I beg to lay Volume 1. Volume 1 is the final detailed feasibility and concept design report conducted by the Minister of Education and Sports and already submitted to Minister of Finance. Herein, there is 1, the final feasibility study report, the concept design report, the geotechnical soil investigations report, the final environmental and social impact statement, the topographical stroke cadastral survey report, and economic viability and feasibility study report. I beg to lay.
Thank you.
Right Honorable Speaker, still on Akibwa Olympic Stadium, I beg to lay Volume 2. Volume 2 is the architectural concept design report, already submitted to Minister of Finance for purposes of securing the grant. I beg to lay. Finally, Right Honorable Speaker, I beg to lay a copy of a letter addressed to your office for purposes of submitting the final feasibility study and detailed proposals for Akibwa and Buinga Stadia in Lira and Kabarole districts, respectively. I beg to lay. Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. Before you take a seat, can we find out if that grant has expiry date? When does the grant, is it in perpetuity or it has expiry date?
Right Honorable Speaker and Honorable colleagues, the period of this grant was meant to run from 2018 to 2021. Because the period 2021, another meeting, Forum on China-Africa Cooperation, will be held in Senegal, the city of Dakar. But for purposes of this, I strongly believe we are still within 2021, and all should be done to ensure that we secure this grant to construct the proposed 2 stadia. Thank you.
Minister of Finance, you are supposed to bring a report on that. Minister of Finance.
Right Honorable Speaker, on today's order paper, there's a provision for...
There is a provision, but we want to know, do you have a report? What is the way forward?
We have the report, Right Honorable Speaker.
What is the way forward?
We have the report, Right Honorable Speaker.
So present it. Members, I'm referring these reports to Committee of Education to verify them and fast track on how that loan can be got. Not a loan, that grant. And I'm giving you 10 days to report back to the House. There is a procedural matter.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, the procedural matter I'm raising, the last time when we were in this parliament with the Honorable Bakabulinde, before Honorable Bua became a minister, we presented a proposal, and I even followed Honorable Bakabulinde up to his office, and they promised that they would give Busoga region in Jinja City, when they are getting that grant, that they would give us also a stadium. And there is a very big stadium, Bugembe Stadium, Right Honorable Speaker. And this has been a promise that was made in this parliament. The minister came, much as it was not in the 11th parliament. Right Honorable Speaker, wouldn't it be procedurally right when we are getting and asking for this grant to include our region, Right Honorable Speaker, so that Jinja City, one of the biggest cities with serious sports, gets, and all other cities also get stadiums, so that we can get the talent that we have in the region to be filled at national level. That is the procedure matter.
All the stadia to be worked on, but what we are looking at now is fast tracking the grant for what was promised. Can we have Minister of Finance?
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker and honorable colleagues, you may recall that in June 2019, His Excellency the President of the Republic of Uganda led the Ugandan delegation to the People's Republic of China to, among other issues, present and discuss with his Chinese counterpart the project for financing by the Chinese authorities under the 8 major initiatives of Forum for China-Africa Cooperation for the period 2019-2021. The project for construction of Akibwa and Buinga Stadium in Lila and Kaole districts respectively, was among the priority projects presented to the Chinese authority by His Excellency the President. Further consultations were held, Right Honorable Speaker, on projects to be financed by the Chinese authorities under FOCAC, and on 21st January 2021, Government of Uganda officially submitted its prioritized projects for inclusion into the Uganda-China pool of projects and consideration for financing under the FOCAC cycle of 2019-2021. After submission of the approved projects, Right Honorable Speaker and Honorable colleagues, ministries, agencies, and departments whose projects had been prioritized commenced on preparations of detailed project proposals and detailed feasibility studies. However, in dated 21st August 2021, the Chinese authorities informed us that the Ugandan pool of projects had been revised and some projects had been dropped. Following the outbreak of the COVID-19 pandemic, Right Honorable Speaker, the government of China committed to support African countries to address the COVID-19 outbreak through donation of equipment and medicine. This affected the financing of most of the projects in the project pool, and thus leading to the dropping of the many projects from the pool of projects, the above projects inclusive. Finally, all the projects that were dropped will be prioritized in the next FOCAC cycle programming for the period 2021-2023. Right Honorable Speaker, I beg to submit.
Honorable Kasolo, do we still have a hope of getting that grant? Don't come and read for us papers here. What we want to know is the money still there? What have you done as a ministry to have the money?
Right Honorable Speaker and Honorable colleagues, as you have indicated in our submission, because of COVID, our priorities changed, and therefore China zeroed on supporting our priorities as opposed.
You mean sports is not a priority?
As for COVID, Right Honorable Speaker.
Was that money meant for other priorities than sports?
Right Honorable Speaker, it was not for that. But as I have indicated, the donor chose to support Uganda in other activities.
Did they communicate that we are switching the grant from sports to another activity?
But we are committing, Right Honorable Speaker, that...
I am saying did the donor communicate that there was a switch from sports to the priorities?
Right Honorable Speaker, I need to cross-check whether that
Honorable Kasolo, I want to advise you, if you're not ready to give a statement that is helping the House, then don't come and give. Don't come and give. Because this is something that has been outstanding. Can we have Committee of Education? We need that report. Yes? Procedure.
Madam Speaker, I was really very excited to hear from the Minister that he has a report to that effect that is going to help us to understand why this construction has taken long. I believe that when a minister is coming to present a report, you have a document where you pick the information from. But surprisingly, the minister is telling us you need to cross-check whether there is a written document from the Chinese government to that effect. Are we really proceeding well? To me, I'm thinking that we direct the speaker, the minister to go back, cross-check the relevant documents, work on proper report, then come on the floor of Parliament, other than receiving a document he's not sure about. Are we proceeding well, Madam Speaker?
Honorable Minister, it was on a procedure. Can I rule? Members, as I've said, Honorable Ministers, help us to help you. Come when you're ready to give information to this House. This House is a representative of all the people outside there. These are the voice of the voiceless. Now, if you cannot give us information that we shall take out there, what will people in Kabarole say? What will people in Lira say? That we were given money and the money was diverted? Take your seat. I am referring this matter to the Committee of Education, and you will need to give them all the relevant information as to why you're not getting that grant. A grant, not a loan. And you must know that this was something that was given to Uganda, not given just, it was given before COVID. So why don't we have this grant be given and these stadia are built? Don't come and give us haphazard information. Committee of Education, report back in 10 days on this matter, and summon finance. Summon them to give you all the information. Next.
Item 4.8, the implementation of the parliamentary resolution on the renaming of Wampewo Avenue as BMK Avenue. Item 4.8, that is a statement by Minister on the implementation of the parliamentary resolution on renaming of Wampewo Avenue as BMK Avenue.
Procedure, Chair. Madam Speaker, you moved only one item because the minister was going somewhere. And according to the order paper,
Honorable
it is
Aisha,
health that would come next.
Honorable Aisha, I want to accommodate matters of national importance. And that's why they are called national importance. So we'll handle. And the order paper is for the Speaker, Kanibare. So, Kampala.
Right Honourable Speaker, statement on implementation of the parliamentary resolution for the naming of Wampewo Avenue as BMK Avenue. Right Honourable Speaker, Honourable Jim, you may not be hearing. Could be you have an
Members, the Honourable Minister is giving a maiden speech. Honourable Minister, please, first of all, use a microphone. Secondly, introduce yourself. You're protected.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Right Honourable Speaker. I'm Kabuye Chofa, the Minister of State for Kampala, Capital City and Metropolitan Affairs. Right Honourable Speaker, members are asking the constituency. I represent one constituency, Tibu Habulwa.
You're not talking to the people, you're talking to the Speaker.
Right Honourable Speaker and Honourable colleagues, Parliament early on resolved that Wampewo Avenue be renamed BMK Avenue in commemoration of the tremendous developments and the services rendered by the late Bulaimu Mwanga Chibirige. and I need to have to let the Parliament know this was a full resolution of Parliament. I wish to submit as follows. Her Worship, the Deputy Lord Mayor, communicated to Kampala Capital City Authority Council in its sitting of the 15th September 2021 on renaming of Wampewo Avenue to BMK Avenue after the great man Al-Hajj Bulaim Mwanga Chibirige, now that is deceased. This was in commemoration of the deceased for his contribution towards national building. Right Honorable Speaker, the above proposal was adopted under minute KCCA/04/25 of 2021 and referred to the Standing Committee of Physical Planning for further scrutiny and later approved by Council on the 28th day of September 2021. Right Honorable Speaker, I beg to submit.
Thank you. Next.
Item 5, presentation of a petition in the matter of Kasoli Tenants Circle Limited, Kasoli Housing Project.
Honorable Sarah.
What has happened? Procedure.
Honorable Sarah, can you lay the petition on table?
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, this is a petition by the Kasoli Tenants Circle Limited. This is a housing project where there was a partnership between the government and the people, the slum dwellers. In 1988, they conceived a vision to transform these pathetic housing conditions that were dirty, densely populated, unplanned, into a conducive, healthy environment estate of low-income grade houses. In 2003, the community members organized themselves and formed the Kasoli Tenant Circle Limited. In 2010, they entered into a memorandum between the community. They entered into a memorandum with the Ministry of Lands, Housing and Urban Development, the UN Habitat, DFCU Bank, and Tororo Municipal Council to transform this slum into a low-cost housing scheme. This project, Right Honorable Speaker, was undertaken and construction done. In 2012, the implementation started by identifying and signing of a contract between the Kasoli tenants and the Empire contractors. In 2016, the first phase of the project was completed.
Can you lay the document?
Thank you.
That will be handled at committee level.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, maybe just to mention one concern. One concern is that this last month, DFCU Bank decided to put up an auction in the newspapers of this property. And arising out of that, Right Honorable Speaker, they gave them just about 1 month within which to pay up or they sell off the property. And yet, the people could not continue paying DFCU Bank when government came up with the standard gauge railway and asked the people to prepare to vacate. So, Right Honorable Speaker, the prayers are that the Ministry of Lands, Housing and Urban Development, working with the Ministry of Works and Ministry of Finance, do prevail on DFCU to halt the plans to sell this property, but also government should expedite or come out clearly regarding the standard gauge railway and compensate the people, because it's the one that stopped them from further developing the place, or even as a result of that discouraged them from paying their part of the mortgage. So, Right Honourable Speaker, I beg to submit this petition.
Thank you. Honourable Sarah, I'm referring the petition on the matter of Kasoli Tenants Circle and housing project to the Committee of Infrastructure and report back in 10 days.
Item 6, laying of papers. 6.1, the law revision fines and other financial amounts in criminal matters.
Attorney General.
Presentation of the law revision, fines and other financial amounts in criminal matters, modification of written laws, instrument 2021 to the Parliament for approval. Right Honourable Speaker and Honourable Members, the purpose of this statement is to present to Parliament the proposed law reform, fines and other financial amounts in criminal matters, modification of written laws, instrument 2021, for your approval as required by Section 7 of the Law Reform, Fines and Other Financial Matters in Criminal Matters Act 2008. Right Honourable Speaker and Honourable Members, Section 7 of the Law Reform, Fines and Other Financial Amounts in Criminal Matters Act 2008 requires the Minister responsible for justice, with the approval of Parliament, by statutory instrument to modify the fines and other financial amounts relating to matters in affected laws of Uganda. The modification of the fines and other...
Attorney General, you're laying the document which will be referred to a committee.
Right Honourable Speaker, is it your guidance that I lay this document without explanation to the House?
You will go and explain to the committee.
I beg to lay.
You repeat the document, the title of the document.
With the guidance of the Speaker, I hereby beg to lay the law reform, fines and other financial amounts in criminal matters, modification of written laws, instrument 2021 to Parliament for approval. I beg to lay.
Thank you. Honourable members, the action of the Attorney General is in compliance to Section 7 of the law revision. That's fines and other financial amounts in criminal matters, Act 2008. I want to thank you, Attorney General, and I'm referring this to the Committee of Legal and Parliamentary Affairs and report back to the House in 10 days.
Item 6.2.
Procedure.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker, for your indulgence. I raise note with the purpose of adjusting your guidance on the particular document laid by the Land Attorney General. I'm only concerned about the 10 days. The document has the effect of amending over 68 legislations by necessary implication. And my sense is that the time frame is so small, and it's seek the indulgence of the Speaker to give more time to the committee to scrutinize this, because I'm very sure the framers had time to look at each of these legislations and the net impact of adjusting this to inflation and other tendencies in the economy, and of course on the people that will be eventually affected.
Thank you, Lord. If the 10 days will not be enough, they will still come and seek for an extension in this house. Thank you.
Item 6.2.
Right Honorable Speaker, I beg to lay reports from the Auditor General's on the financial statements of the year ended 31st December 2020 for the following reports. One, I beg to lay, Right Honorable Speaker, the report from the Auditor General on the financial statements of the UNFPA funded program component of data and population dynamics implemented by National Planning Authority, NPA, for the year ended 31st December 2020. I beg to lay, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Member, the report is sent to the Committee of Public Accounts, Central Government.
Right Honorable Speaker, I beg to lay a report from the Auditor General on the financial statements of the United Nations Population Fund, data and population dynamics component implemented by the National Planning Authority for the year ended 31st December 2020. I beg to lay, Right Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Commissioner. The report is sent to Committee of Public Accounts, Committee of Statutory Authorities and State Enterprises, COSASE.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. I beg to lay a report of the Auditor General on the financial statements of United Nations Population Fund, data and population dynamics component implemented by the Ministry of Gender, Labor and Social Development for the year ended 31st December 2020. I beg to lay.
Thank you, Honorable Commissioner. The report is sent to Committee of Statutory Authorities and State Enterprises, COSASE, for perusal.
Right Honorable Speaker, I beg to lay a report of the Auditor General on the financial statements of United Nations Population Fund, data and population dynamics component implemented by the National Population Council for the year ended 31st December 2020. I beg to lay.
Thank you. Refer to the relevant committee. Next.
Item 7, motion for a resolution of Parliament urging government to establish a blood bank in the Bunyoro region.
Clerk, we say matters of national importance. Matters of national importance first. Matters of national importance, Honorable, you will present later. Honorable Dero.
Thank you so much, Right Honorable Speaker. For the purpose of record, I am Were Godfrey Odero, representing the people of Samia Vugwe South Busia District. I'm raising up on the matter of national importance. and it is concerning Majanj landing site. Right, Honorable Speaker, Majanj landing site is one of the historical landing sites in Uganda, which had a harbor for ship to dock. The government of Uganda in 1995 tried to construct through the African Development Bank, but up now, work which had started stopped and left on the way, which has caused many deaths to our local people, and this has gone to the number of 11. Last month, Right Honorable Speaker, I buried like 2 people in my area due to this landing site. My prayers: the government should update on this project, which stalled for more than 10 years. Secondly, I pray that the minister concerned pay a visit to this landing site so that it can further assess the actual situation on the ground. I beg to submit.
Government.
Right Honorable Speaker, I undertake to inform the relevant minister to look into this matter and come back and explain to Parliament.
So we'll expect your response in how long?
I think it's a very important matter. In 2 weeks. Thank you.
We expect to get your feedback in 2 weeks' time. Honorable Lutamaguzi.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, I raise on the matter of national importance regarding to the sorry state of Wobulenzi, Nakaseke, Kapeka Road. Madam Speaker, this is a very important road which connects mainly the districts of Luwero, Nakaseke, Mitiana, and Impiji. Actually, it's a main link to Kapeka Industrial Park. Madam Speaker, it has highly affected. I'm so happy even the Minister of Kampala comes from that area, Madam Speaker, but he cannot support me to remind the government to rehabilitate or reconstruct that road because it has hampered trade in that area. Madam Speaker, my prayer is that government, through UNRWA, tries to help our people who use that road of Wobulenzi, Nakaseke, Kapeka. I submit. Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Semakula. Government Works.
Right Honorable Speaker, we have a comprehensive statement on the status of roads in the country, ready, which we are going to present, and that's one of the roads that is included. So we shall give a comprehensive response once we are given time. Thank you. Yeah,
so, Honorable Semakula, we will have your report included in the main report. The statement is there, but the minister asked to present the statement in the next session. I can see the Minister of Kampala is dying to give a statement, but Minister of Kampala, we want to have a meeting with the ministers of Kampala and the MPs of Kampala. And that meeting should be tomorrow at midday in the Speaker's chambers on the papers that you're supposed to present. Honorable Nakazibwe, Hope.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. Hope Grania Nakazibwe. I raise on a matter of national importance about the schools. Right Honorable Speaker and Honorable Members, as we plan to open the schools as government, we have realized that a communication came from Ministry of Education and Sports to the Ministry of Finance, ordering not to release the grant that is meant to cater for Q1 of the financial year 2021-2022. And as of now, we've entered into the second quarter. We do not know whether the first communication still applies to the second quarter. Yet schools are planning to reopen, I think, very early in next year. These schools need to prepare to receive the pupils and students. This commonly applies to our universal secondary education and UPE schools. Madam Speaker and honorable members, these schools are in a very bad state as we speak right now. So my prayer is to request Ministry of Education and Sports to give an updated communication to Ministry of Finance whether they should still hold the money or release the money to these public schools that they prepare for the reopening of schools. Many of these schools have staff and teachers who are not on payrolls, and they need to be facilitated and maintained at this time. It will come to a time when we open up schools and we shall have no teachers, no support staff. Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker.
Government.
Right Honorable Speaker, the Minister of Education will be coming to update the country on the reopening of schools, but also government is working together, honorable member. We don't work in silos, we work as a team, and any time, because it is in our own interest as government to ensure that there is smooth reopening of schools. So the various agencies, Minister of Health, Minister of Finance, Minister of Education are talking together, and we are going to be coming here, Right Honorable Speaker, to update Parliament and the country on the issue. Thank you.
There's a procedural matter here.
Right Honorable Speaker, I listened very carefully to the member, and specifically was talking about financial issues and transfer of finances. And good enough, we have the Minister of Finance in the House. And I'm wondering why the government chief whip want to answer everything when the Minister of Finance is here. Why don't we give the time for the Minister of Finance to explain the issue of the transfer of money, other than waiting to hear from him only? Thank you.
The Honorable Prime Minister is here.
Thank you so much, Right Honorable Speaker. Honorable members, the issue of schools, she was specific about funds, yes, but it's a multi-sector issue. We cannot come here to talk about only funds, because the funds have to do with the capitation, but there is also the component of health. There are many issues that must be considered. So it is better that government brings a comprehensive multi-sector approach to the issue, because it involves more than the Ministry of Education and Sports. I beg to request that you accord us the time, Right Honorable Speaker, because it's the concern of everybody, and the beauty of it that most of the members in this House have children that fall in that category, and we are concerned on behalf of others, but also as leaders, but also as individuals. I beg, Right Honorable Speaker, to be accorded that time.
Thank you. Minister for General Duties. As she has actually stated, it needs a multi-ministerial approach. And you need to report back to this House, because it is affecting all the constituencies, all the districts, all the schools, all sectors. You will find Grania is just an eye-opener. So we need a report to that effect before the schools open. We need to be prepared before the schools are open. Honorable Agasha.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, my colleagues. For record purposes, Agasha Judith Washisha, Woman Representative, Mitoma District. Right Honorable Speaker, I raise on the matter of importance about the storm, the hailstorm that hit our district in Mitoma. Sub-counties of Chijende and Kanyabwanga, that is Ruhinda North, and sub-counties of Mitoma as a sub-county, especially the parishes of Nchinga, Katunda, and Mushunga, we are badly hit. Many schools and churches, especially Nchinga Catholic Church, was totally destroyed, and Chankwe Primary School. As I speak, Right Honorable Speaker, the people who are affected have no meals. They don't even expect what to eat as time goes on. I request the government, Right Honorable Speaker, to come to the aid of the affected parishes and churches and provide construction materials, especially for the churches now that they are open, and for the schools. As much as they are still closed, still they need to be refurbished. Right Honorable Speaker, I beg to submit.
Information.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Proceed.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. I want to thank my sister for giving way. Right Honorable Speaker, the issue of disaster is everywhere in the country. Right Honorable Speaker, it's very sad right now that when you go to the Prime Minister's office, they will tell you there is no money. I have 3 roads in Rwanda district that have been totally cut off. Right Honorable Speaker, it is only now in the Ministry of, in the Prime Minister's office that all of us members have to run to for roads, for education, for hospitals, for schools and everything, Right Honorable Speaker, food, blankets, soloti, oil, and everything. Right Honorable Speaker, my prayer is these other ministries, Right Honorable Speaker, be given an opportunity that I can move today and I go to the Ministry of Transport and I request them to come and help us in our roads. But when you go there right now, Right Honorable Speaker, they will tell you there is no money, go to Prime Minister's office. Is that how we are going to continue moving, Right Honorable Speaker? I pray that all ministries be given fund for disaster so that our people be helped.
Further information.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Katesh, Prime Minister, you will come and respond.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. I think it's over 3 weeks since we started bringing matters of national importance related to these disasters. I think I was among the first, but over 3 weeks down the line, nothing has happened. This country has got a meteorological authority. We do weather forecasts. It is as if every year we have to be caught by surprise. What is the long-term strategy of planning for these disasters? Second, Right Honorable Speaker, I think some time back we passed a motion here urging Minister of Finance to revert the issue of money that goes back to the local governments. Some of these emergencies can be handled by the local governments. For example, roads, if they have the money. So I want to know, why do we want to centralize everything here? I was in Shema with my colleague, the woman MP. We reached areas where we cannot cross. And we are all coming here, we are presenting matters of national importance, no action, week after week. Right Honorable Speaker, if we believe in decentralization, let us empower local governments to deal with these disasters. And we deal with them timely so that our people can get the service. I submit.
There's a procedure here.
Thank you so much, Right Honorable
You'll
Speaker.
come with a clarification.
Right Honorable Speaker, when such things happen, society gets to members of parliament. And they think we have to come up with solutions. They want food from us, they want money, they want us to roof schools. Because now we have become government of sorts. In my constituency, Buhweju County, 3 sub-counties are cut off. Buhunga, Nsika Town Council, and Chahenda. Madam Speaker, the procedural matter I'm raising is, can the Prime Minister sit with the various ministries? They look at these very emerging issues. They allocate them according to the relevant ministries, and they come to us, and we deal with them once and for all.
Honorable Minister, you need to have a multi-sectoral approach on disaster. Abur? Honorable Abur?
Thank you. Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, I rise on matter of procedure. Right Honorable Speaker, last week I followed Parliament. I think it was Thursday when the Prime Minister was presenting on the 5 billion shillings. Right Honorable Speaker, in my hands here is the Public Finance Management Act, and I want to draw your attention of members to Section 27, Clause 3, and I read it verbatim. In this, the mask, my pronunciations are very good, but the mask is disturbing me. Clause 3, in this part, natural disaster means an event that causes severe human suffering or material, economic, or environmental damage, and which results in or is likely to result in the loss of essential services required to meet basic human needs, and which A, cannot be responded to with resources available from the annual budget or other sources of funds, and B, creates a compelling need for funding that is in the public interest. Right Honorable Speaker, some of the disasters we are talking about are not recent things. It is close to 2 years. A big part of Uganda has been flooded. I don't know how many times I've risen on this floor of Parliament to report about the floods that affected the people of Pakwach. We have roads washed, we have health centers washed, we have communities that have nowhere to live, Right Honorable Speaker. Just last week, I was called by one senior leader, religious leader from the district, wondering whether government could buy land for some of the affected people of Pakwach. I listened with a lot of dismay and a lot of pain when I saw how the Prime Minister was busy allotting funds to selected areas that she had visited. Why don't we do an holistic visit to all the areas affected? Then we sit down as government and properly give the people what they really need. I remember I met the former Prime Minister together with the woman MP of Bulisa, and now I see Pakwach is nowhere. Right Honorable Minister, the people of Pakwach and the people of Uganda that are flooded do no longer need posho or jerrycans or taplings. They need land where they can be relocated. Churches are flooded, schools are flooded, markets are flooded. People in Pakwach have to move and pay every day close to 5,000 shillings to and fro, going to either markets or going to wherever they have to go to. This is painful to see that some Ugandans are treated so well, others are not. Why? And even what I saw in Toroko, it is a time bomb. Why would we leave? Why would we leave young Ugandans floating on water? In fact, the Prime Minister should have directed immediate evacuation of those people. The way I saw they were floating on water. Right Honorable Speaker, this matter needs to be addressed with the urgency it needs, and it should not be done on a selective basis, because we are equal Ugandans. I thank you.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, it's now 1 year that I have been very close to following the discussions and what is taking place, even before I became a member of parliament. Right Honorable Speaker, it's not that members of parliament enjoy raising a matter of national importance. We are members out there will begin to think that the best thing we do is raising matter of national importance, which in the actual sense, we should address these issues. Right Honorable Speaker, there's what they call reduction risk management and disaster risk preparedness. It is really something that we need to look at, and we expect really the Office of the Prime Minister to present to us a clear plan on what is on table as disaster risk preparedness for further management. Last time we raised a matter of national importance concerning the issues of animals and elephants in Kitgum district. Right Honorable Speaker, the Office of the Prime Minister gave us posho, beans, cooking oil, and the rest. 2 weeks after, the elephants came and destroyed thousands of other gardens. We could not go back again because the list is long. They will say submitting a request and we wait for the next. We need to have a clear way forward on how to map out this. Yes, disasters are there, but there are some of disasters which have been repeatedly happening in these places. I think it's time that we need the Office of the Prime Minister to avail this House with what is the next plan for the further disasters that will take place in this country, so that we don't keep on raising these issues time and again. I thank you, Right Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Prime Minister, the issue that is being raised is raised on a daily basis. It is not because we love the cameras, but our people down there are suffering. People don't have what to eat. The disaster, the rains have washed off people's houses. They've done all the kind of disaster in areas. Now, for us, as government, we decide to just run. If there is a disaster today in Bukeria, you take off there. Leave 5 million shillings there. Let's have a disaster preparedness plan. Let's have a disaster preparedness management commission in place. It is a constitutional matter. When you look at Article 249, a country is supposed to have a disaster preparedness and management commission. Do we have that commission in place? Or are we going to have that commission in place to help us plan? We need a multi-sectoral approach to these issues of disaster. I can bet you, Prime Minister, if you look at all these members of parliament, 98% have disasters in their constituencies. And including Jim Muhesi, Honorable Jim Muhesi there, he has a problem. Including your chief whip, he has a problem. How are we going to explain to our people tomorrow that we don't have money, that people are dying because of hunger? What plan do you have as government? And that is one of the reasons why members of parliament don't come back to the House. Because people think their role is to buy food, buy taplings, buy all kinds of things for voters. We need to help our people. We need to help our members of parliament. Prime Minister.
Thank you so much, Right Honorable Speaker, and thank you so much, members, those who have raised issues in relation to disaster, and those who have not raised the issues here. I want to begin by thanking members of parliament who have been able to raise these issues, either here on the floor or have written, either as individuals or through the administrative secretaries, chief administrative officers or through different stakeholders. What is important in this case is passing over information to the institution which has the mandate to respond immediately. What I want to share with you members is that you have been having these discussions and you have even given guidance to the executive to the level that as we talk today, supply of food to the affected districts has started, and we started with Karamoja sub-region. And it's ongoing. But I think where we missed the link is that in the meeting we had this morning, we realized some members of parliament had not yet been informed by the ministry or the office of the Prime Minister. And with that, we are going to work on it because we were able to identify it in the meeting this morning. The issue of disasters, that's why they are called the disasters. It's an emergency. But you went ahead as Parliament and secured that under the Public Finance Act, where the Minister of Finance is given that leeway to come in and handle the emergency. But as you are aware, the issues are everywhere. The resources are not enough, but we have started with Karamoja. But that does not exemplify government from handling the other areas. But I want members to say we may have to have a discussion and see how to manage this, because what is happening, the flooding happens somewhere, we supply food, but then there is an issue of handling issues to do with the...
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. Last week we were in this Parliament discussing the same topic, and there was an issue of diversion of disaster money that came up in this House. And the Prime Minister promised that he will give a comprehensive report today. As we continue to lament, Right Honourable Speaker, are we proceeding right? Before we receive this comprehensive report, to start hearing issues of no resources, not enough resources, when again on the other side, we are hearing issues of diversion, Right Honourable Speaker. Are we proceeding right? Thank you.
Further procedure?
You see,
further procedure?
As we wait for the Prime Minister's report, people do not stop dying. And we must raise these issues. And we need these issues resolved. The other question somebody would ask you, what is the criteria of you giving out food? If you're saying you've started with the Karamoja, why didn't you start with the Bukedea? Why didn't you go to Omoro? Why didn't you go to Masaka? So that's why I am saying, Honorable Minister, I am giving government 2 months to have a disaster preparedness and management commission. It is a constitutional thing, constitutional requirement. It's not my own requirement. If you had a commission in place, that commission would be preparing for all the strategic preparedness of disaster. We would be having a schedule that today we are going to start with the Karamoja, next day we shall be in Akaseke, another day we shall be in Apa, all those districts. So we need a commission in place.
Further procedure, Right Honourable Speaker.
Yes.
Right Honourable Speaker, wouldn't it be right with your guidance that as Parliament, we take a position of allocating each ministry funds to help our people? Right Honourable Speaker, I want you to, if members would testify what it takes for you to go to the Prime Minister's office and report about the roads, report about the landslides, report about the houses, and report about everything like I said.
Honourable Proce, why would you go to Prime Minister if it is on issues of works? Why would you go to Prime Minister if it is issues of electricity?
Right Honorable Speaker.
Of water?
Right Honorable Speaker. When you go to other ministries, they tell you they don't have money for disaster. And I have gotten that answer like 3 times in I went to education, they said there is no money for disaster. I went to that Ministry of Transport, they said there is no money for disaster.
Honorable members, we have a Ministry of Disaster Preparedness. It is under the Prime Minister's office. What we need to do, and Prime Minister, empower the ministry. Don't take all the responsibility. If it is works, let works do its work. If it is water, let water do its work. Disaster, let's do its work. Let's not take the responsibility of other ministries. You'll break down. Honorable Lope.
Madam Speaker.
Lope, can your member first say, then you come in?
Yes, thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I just would like to seek clarification from the Prime Minister about disaster management committees at district level. Are they existing? If they are existing, are they functional? Do they have also some ways of mitigating disasters? Because disasters are there every other time. And if we should just focus at national level only, are we going to manage to help our people better? Why do we even talk about District Disaster Management Committee, Sub-County Disaster Management Committee? At least those of us who came from war-torn area, those days, we used to have those committees very functional. But now there are you cannot even hear of them. Are they there? Or you have killed all of them to help our people better? I need that clarification.
Of course, you can't kill a committee, but you can't kill a committee. Yes, Lope?
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. I did observe the demeanor of my sister, the Minister for General Duties, and I could see she was really laboring with a huge challenge. And I want to assure you, Honourable Minister, that you're not dealing with a personal problem. Share with the House of Parliament the breadth of the problem. How much resources are at your disposal, for example, to handle the requirement for food? You beginning from Karamoja, wonderful. How many districts are you going to cover, and in what period? If the need is food, can the need for food wait for generations of time? So how much time is at your disposal to solve the emergence of food requirement? Can we talk money? Honourable Speaker, will the Minister advise this Parliament? Because then we can decipher whether actually she will be able to handle the food needs. How much money is at your disposal to make provision for food? Secondly, we should not run away from the urgency to account. If 5 billion was diverted, whoever took it should immediately return it and be available for disasters. That should not even wait for a day. Otherwise, if we are going to beg people to account, then we are here as bridesmaids, not as leaders of our people. Lord Speaker, I want to implore the Minister to be of service to this House and inform the House the resource envelope at her disposal to deal with the problem, so that we can get out of the semantics about when are you coming to Masaka, when are you going to Karamoja, when are you going to Teso. Do you have money? Will people wait for so many months to get food? If you do not have money, raise the red flag. And this House of Parliament deals with the problem once and for all. Otherwise, we are into semantics when the urgency is definite and clear. Honourable Speaker.
Honourable Minister, whoever says what is in good faith and is for the good of this country. So what you need to inform this House in terms of every ministry, because the disaster is affecting roads, schools, all those kind of things. How much do we need? How much can this House appropriate in terms of supplementary to help? And if they have the money, then it should be used. Prime Minister?
Thank you so much, Right Honourable Speaker. Honourable members, I want to thank the Right Honourable Speaker who has reminded us to set up the Disaster Commission. We would work on that, but we're also developing the standard operating procedures for the disasters. When it happens, what should we begin with? Because you always just send reports, yet we should also be guided how to begin to handle as central government is coming in to join the efforts of local governments. The question to do with the size of the resources that we have to handle the problem at hand and what is even going to happen in the next minute, next hour, which we may not be aware. I want to request the Minister of Finance to come and, according to the resources that are available, how much do we have that can be put to disaster? Minister of Finance.
Honourable.
Thank you so much, Right Honourable Speaker. Right Honourable Speaker, we agreed as this Parliament to make a provision for disasters within the Public Finance Management Act. And we agreed that I think it is 0.5% of the budget of the preceding year to be appropriated in the budget for disasters. For instance, we have a budget of 44 trillion shillings. I think 0.5% of that would be about 2.2 trillion shillings. Now, the challenge has been the one of availability of funds. So in this financial year, where we are, we made a provision of only 62 billion shillings as opposed to 2.2 trillion shillings. So there's a huge deficit. And as fate may have it, this year we have had a very huge problem in terms of disasters. The disasters we have had this year have been very unprecedented. When you take Kayunga, for example, where I come from, so many villages were cut off. There's one village that remained within Yekchoga, you know, that where the population is highly vulnerable. Anytime they could be swept by the floods. But to move all these people requires a lot of money, which we did not provide for in the budget. We only provided for 62 billion. I think it's a challenge for all of us to ensure that we put aside so many of our priorities and commit this money towards solving disasters. Because experience, I think,
the Prime Minister had asked you how much money is available for disaster.
Right Honourable Speaker, I think I had answered the question that we provided 62 billion shillings in the budget as opposed to 2.2 trillion shillings. That's how I had answered the question. Now, Right Honourable, allow me to say this as well. This money is not appropriated to Office of the Prime Minister. It is actually under a vote known as Treasury Operations vote 130. Now, why it was put there is in kind of a pool within the Ministry of Finance. If a disaster relates to a bridge, the Ministry of Works should apply for that money. If a disaster relates to provision of posho, etc., the ministry in charge of disasters could ask for that money. But we also make some small provisions
Just
within...
give us a clarification. That if the disaster relates to a bridge, which ministry gets the money?
Works would apply for that money from Ministry of Finance. They would ask for that money.
And if it is a school?
If it is a school, Ministry of Education would ask for that money.
And
because that money, Right Honourable Speaker, is in a pool. Because you cannot tell where the disaster will strike. You cannot know. You are just preparing yourself to be ready for any type of disaster. That's why this money is in that pool. I hope, Right Honourable Speaker.
I have understood, we have understood you very well.
Information.
And basing on your communication, now that you've clarified this house very well, I want you to bring a report on how you could remove 5 million from disaster, 5 billion from disaster to be taken to another office. Was there an authorization? You've just said if it is a disaster concerning schools, the money must come through education. If it is from works, for roads, it must come from works. We need an authorization that you gave for that 5 billion to be removed. Members, Prime Minister has committed that they are going to work on whatever is happening. It is really a disaster to the whole country. It is...
Information, Madam.
Yes, Naomi.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I appreciate what is... Thank you, Madam Speaker. I appreciate what is happening, and all of us are affected. However, much as we are looking for money to give us relief food, I think we need to go back to the drawing board and look at mitigating the climate change effects and the environmental degradation. Much as you are going to give this money, even next year when it rains, it will be the same. Madam Speaker, what we're experiencing, I've never felt it, I've never seen it. What is in Rushenyi? Roads are cut off. Some of us don't talk. We just go on. Roads are cut off. The floods, we have never had floods in our place. Now we have floods. People have been swept away in the houses. The houses have gone. So when you look at that, it is happening here in Amarta, in where she's going. How long are we going to be like this? We better think on how to mitigate what is the cause of bringing this kind of disasters. Because it is increasing every year. Are we going to get money to give food every time, everywhere? How are you going to manage with even this economy of ours? We better think of how to mitigate the cause of the problem. I thank you.
Clarification, Madam Speaker.
Honorable members, as we wait to hear from the ministry, let the Committee of Presidential Affairs help us to visit the disaster areas and get specific strategies. Work together with the
Clarification, Madam Speaker.
Work together with OPM and see what can we do for a lasting solution. Let's get a lasting solution, just like Naomi is saying. If it is the issue of the water, then we should be thinking about how to dig dams. We should be thinking of how to dig dams. So Presidential Affairs work together with the Office of the Prime Minister and assess what can be done.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. We have already dispatched letters to relevant stakeholders today to handle two issues. One is on disaster preparedness, and the second part is on the management aspect. So we have taken it in good faith. We shall report back. Thank you.
Honorable Magolo John. Honorable Magolo.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. Magolo John Faith, Member of Parliament, Bungoko North in Mbale District. And I rise on the matter of national importance. In 2018, the Bukumi Gravity Flow Scheme in Ubiang Sub-County in Mbale District, supplying over 10,000 families, broke down. Shortly after the breakdown, the Eastern Umbrella came on ground as they had been contracted by the Ministry of Environment, Water and Sanitation to renovate the water source. In the process of renovation, they removed all the underlying pipes. Since then, the contractors have never appeared on ground. Right Honorable Speaker, in its current state, the glorious water source that served over 10,000 families has become a shadow of its former glory. The water collection boxes at various points and the reservoir tank, which was under construction using the taxpayers' money, has since been left to rot. Other gravity flows under similar circumstances are Namili flow scheme and the Namukuyu gravity flow scheme. Right Honorable Speaker, the people in Bungoko North, Mbale District, feel neglected by government as a result of this water situation.
What is your prayer?
My prayer, Right Honorable Speaker, is that the Minister of Environment, Water and Sanitation takes up this matter and ensure that the Bukumi Gravity Flow Scheme and others are restored as a matter of urgency. I beg to submit.
Thank you. Minister. Government.
Right Honorable Speaker, this is a very important prayer he's made, and I'm going to ensure that indeed it's implemented right away.
Honorable Government Chief Whip, you need to follow up on the issue of the water, the reservoir, and give a feedback to the Honorable Member of Parliament.
Right Honorable Speaker, the project he's talking about is being worked on using force account by umbrella scheme in the Ministry of Water. So I'm going to ensure that indeed today I link up with the Minister and the Commissioner in charge of umbrella schemes to ensure that indeed they work on it expeditiously.
Yes.
For record purposes, I'm Rutamagu Semakura, the MP for Nakaseke South. Right Honorable Speaker, the procedural matter I'm raising on is about the wise ruling you have made about committees to go and do their mandate. Madam Speaker, most committees don't have funds to enable them to do their work in the field. So is it procedural right, Madam Speaker, to send these committees in the field when they don't have even fuel funds? I submit.
How can you say we don't have money? A whole parliament? We have the money. We have the money. We've asked the finance not to cut the 40% from any committee activity. We are going to have committee work. Honorable Kibedi, Honorable Elijah on the water.
First of all, Madam Speaker, let me thank you for that last statement you made that Parliament cannot fail to have money to do its work. I hope they have heard. Right Honorable Speaker, the issue of water, similar to what my colleague has raised from, well, I don't know what has happened to the Minister of Water and Environment. I have a similar project in Casilo. They came and dug, it was water for production, and drilled the well in 2017. But year in, year out, they are saying, no, we are operating on false account. It's now 4 years. That was the level that has stopped. I think this project needs to be completed. This was water for production, and I remember very well that we passed a loan for that project and for those projects to be completed. So it defeats one's understanding why a source can be drilled, get the water, and then disappear. So the government chief whip, I think, should take it up. It may not only be limited to Mbale and Casilo, but may also be involving other places. Thank you.
Government chief whip, take it up for all the areas that have the same kind of connection in terms of water. You have a clarification?
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. I would like to add my voice to clarify on the issue of the constant floods.
We moved away from the floods. Honorable Tebandeke, haven't they left you behind? Tebandeke.
Not.
Honorable, we've left you behind. Honorable members, Honorable Kibedi. Honorable Kibedi, Masaba, you first sit, let him finish.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. For the record purposes, I'm Segumile Kibedi Mohammed, representing Michiana North constituency. I'm raising on a matter of national importance in my constituency. Right Honorable Speaker, the recent rains and strong winds in my constituency, that is Kikandwa and Kalanga, destroyed a number of properties. This included houses, banana plantation, coffee plantations, and various crops. Right Honorable Speaker, as a result of that catastrophic, a number of people were left homeless after their houses went down, and famine and starvation is also likely to face them, culminating from the destruction of their crops by the heavy rains and winds. The road from Kikandwa, from Chiriocha, Kalangal sub-county, to Mate, that is Kikandwa sub-county, is totally destroyed. My people have nowhere to pass. And a road from Chamusisi to Mukonga is also cut off. So I beg that, and then the road from Kalangalo, I've already mentioned it, and which connects Mitiana district to Chivoga district is also cut off. I beg that, Madam Honorable Speaker, my humble prayer is that the government intervenes in this matter by providing some assistance in form of shelter, food, items, and seeds that can be distributed to the affected persons in the area, and the road be repaired. The two mentioned roads to be repaired. I beg to submit, Right Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. That is still on disaster. Honorable Government Chief Whip.
Procedure.
Government Chief Whip.
Procedure, Madam Speaker.
I know you bring procedure because you want to talk.
Madam Speaker, it is something small.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, the Right Honorable Prime Minister said that food is being distributed in Karamoja. Madam Speaker, through you, wouldn't it be procedure right for the tractors to come to Rwanda and then for the Ministry of Education to go to your constituency and other constituencies like that. So, because not all people want food.
That's why you want to know the strategies. We want a commission in place. We want to know their work plan on how they are distributing.
Madam Speaker, Rwanda roads are closed.
Thank you. Right Honourable Speaker, indeed, we are going to take it up with other matters of disaster. But Right Honourable Speaker, I just wanted us to agree with members. One of the reasons why government gave district road units is it open up most of these emergency roads and disasters. Now, members, colleagues, I'm your colleague.
Honourable members, listen to Government Chief Whip.
Yes, I'm a
but
colleague.
I also want you to interest yourselves in the road fund, which goes to your districts. Because that road fund has become a bonanza for engineers and local government people. You monitor that money. You have road units, equipments. Monitor that fund and see how the fund is working. Whether it is there, how much is there. Me, I'm a chairperson of the road fund in my district. But I will go and see what is happening, how they are using. So you need to monitor. Yes.
Thank you. Right Honourable Speaker. It's not even unique to your area. Just a minute. You'll find most of the road units which government got loans and spent on are being used for private works in your areas. I request colleagues, and I request you, this is in good faith, I request you go to your districts, look at what the road units are being used for. Even where you find you can provide fuel, Right Honourable Speaker, you say I can provide fuel, and you hear that you cannot have the road unit when you can even provide fuel. So colleagues, I urge you, let's go, we look at our districts, you'll find some of these roads which you're bringing here every day, you could sort it out at the district level. But that does not take away, Right Honourable Speaker, our obligation as government to ensure that indeed roads under central government are worked on and opened up in cases of emergencies.
Information. I saw somebody arrested over, was it in Hoima? Over those kind of units.
Right Honourable Speaker, in Mitoma district, we arrested them because they were using it for private work. When roads
Honourable members, I want you to put keen interest in those road units. Go and audit, go and check how much money has been sent for road fund.
Information.
My sister has been a LOC5 here. She knows what happens.
Information.
Look at how much money is in the road fund. How is that money being used? Is it doing anything in the district? Or it is a cash bonanza for some people? And once you do that, you'll be doing your oversight role.
Information.
But where the equipment cannot work, that's when we come back and say, look, we cannot do A, B, C, D.
Information.
And those districts which have not yet got the equipment should be able to get from the neighboring districts. Honourable.
Information,
yes.
Madam Speaker.
You mean
Thank
everybody
you.
is coming?
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. Right Honourable Speaker, while districts were given this equipment, some of the districts, this equipment long broke down. The repairs have been a challenge. But Right Honourable Speaker, the point that I wanted to raise, when we created the road fund, the Ministry of Finance is supposed to remit all these monies collected to the road fund. However, what is sent to the road fund, Right Honourable Speaker, is only about 30% of the collections, and yet that money is supposed to be ring-fenced. So, Right Honourable Speaker, I want, through you, to request the Minister of Finance to bring us a report of how much has been collected, for instance, in the last financial year and in the last quarter, and how much was remitted to the road fund.
Information.
Why we are struggling, Right Honourable Speaker, with all these roads and bridges that we are talking about. UNRWA or the Ministry of Finance are not able to work on our roads
because the Ministry of Finance has become the boss.
Information.
And yet the law is very clear that they must remit all the collections to the Uganda Road Fund 100%. How much do you remit, Right Honorable Speaker, to the road fund? Can we get that report?
Honorable Minister of Finance, I want you to give a status or a report of how much money you remit to every district in terms of road fund. Everybody should get in their pigeon holes. 2, members of parliament, I also want you to get a status of how much money has been used in your districts from the road fund, and give that report to my office. I want to know how much money has been used and how the money has been utilized. Check value for money, and that is one of your roles as an oversight. Members, let's not come and do lamenting in the House. Let's be action-oriented. Let's go on ground. Now that we have reports in the committees, we have everything, we are going to give you time. You should be able to look at what is happening in your constituencies. Next.
Laying of papers by Parliamentary Commissioner.
Honorable Elijah, we've already rolled. Yes. Please, let you first lay the papers.
Right Honorable Speaker, I beg to lay the reports for Auditor General for the year that ended 30th June 2021. I beg to lay the report.
For which institution?
That is where I'm coming, Right Honorable. Right Honorable Speaker, I beg to lay the report of the Auditor General for the on the financial statements of the National Social Security Fund for the year that ended on 30th June 2021. I beg to lay. Right Honorable Speaker.
That is for NSSF?
Yes.
For NSSF, we referred the report to Committee of COSASE, Statutory Authorities and Enterprises.
Right Honorable Speaker, I also beg to lay a special audit report on the technical, legal and financial evaluation of Namave thermal power plant. I beg to lay.
A report is referred to the Committee of Park, Central Government. Honorable members, we've had a long session. I am adjourning the plenary sittings of the House to 19th October 2021. In the meantime, the committees should process the reports that have been given to them and report to the House. Now you have work. The House adjourned.
I'm coming. Yeah.